Okay, hello everyone. Back with Besiege, back with more mini Star Wars builds. Here's the first one, the Republic Assault. What was it? Yeah, mini Republic Assault ship or something. I don't know. And this is what I said we'd be starting off with the last time. So this is what we're starting off with. So this here is just braces to make a bridge. What I did is basically that, and then just added two more blocks onto it, and then just remove the blocks afterwards. However, one thing that I found out is that they sort of come off and don't actually stay on there because they are just braces. So yeah, look, they just come off. So they're not actually attached. These ones are because they're actually attached to a block here, but those two don't. Unfortunately, they just look nice here. So these are meant to be the insignias of the Republic. Try to keep the shape using braces. This is to get the sort of sloping bit of the bridge in the main sort of command center here. And so yeah, this is what it looks like. Unfortunately, those don't work, but oh well. So because it is only wood, it's going to be a little less sturdy. Obviously, this is stress testing it until failure that I'm doing right now, just shaking it around everywhere, trying to make it fail. So yeah, there you go. There's lots of crashes going on. There's splits happening in the wood. Come on. Fail, damn it. Apparently it's been built very well by me. Ugh. Smash it into the ground. No, even that didn't work. No, that didn't work either. Oh, the explosion caught it on fire a little bit. Yeah, that's gonna break it because it's on fire. There you go, it's all come apart. But so yeah, there's that. Something new that I made actually was this, which is just a battle pack really, but of a X-wing, a Y-wing, a TIE fighter, and a TIE bomber. And I will go over all of these in separate videos, or well, in a separate video. So there's the TIE fighter, there's the TIE bomber, Y-wing, and the X-wing. And they all have various different functions. I will go back to this later when you've actually seen all four of them in more detail. But yeah, so there's just a little something that I wanted to say. Here's something new that I made today actually. So that won't have many views, which is the Republic Assault Cruiser. And what this is that because of the lack of any coloured blocks in Besiege, I am instead using wooden panels here as the sort of red strip down either side. It also helps add the slight sloping that's on the actual one, where that red line is. So yeah, that's sort of helpful. There are the insignias again using gripper pads. Here's sort of the bridge area. Here's where the engines sort of are. Again, braces to add in the sloping detail, and then here's the little tail sort of thing at the back. So yeah, here it is, all majestic. Not really, but because of lack of any proper lighting, there is no sun in Besiege. So with the lack of actual proper lighting, the sun is sort of over in this direction, but there is no actual proper light for these models, as you can see. There's just a shadow. But yeah, it still looks pretty cool. Is this one going to break with stress testing? Yes, it is, I think. Yeah, it's coming apart. Yeah, there you go. That's got it. Yeah, that's got it. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, that's what it looks like in pieces. There's the main body of it. There you go, just those bits fly off. So, yeah, there's that one. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, there's that one. Moving on to here, this is the Republic Gunship. Here are the engines with flamethrowers that can be turned on by Y. The wings can be set at angles using right and left arrow keys. Here's the cockpit using the starting block and a piston. The engines here are simply made from a brace, which leads down to this wooden block. This is a more fragile model than the other ones because the wings are only held on by these steering hinges. There is only a one block. This is only made of one block thick here, and also for the top. This bit is probably probably the strongest bit, the whole cockpit arrangement. And so yeah, try to add some of the sloping here using braces. The front guns are metal spikes. Here is where the clone troopers would be, slightly sloped to the back. These are meant to be the sort of glass houses sort of things on there, with lack of actual glass in Besiege. So they're just pistons held on with braces so they don't move. So yeah, flamethrowers turned on with Y, there are the engines. So here you go, so I think, yeah, it's right arrow key will adjust the wings. As you can see, the wings can be folded to how they should be, which is about here about. There you go. So yeah, H does move the pistons, but only one moves, and it's this one, and that's meant to be decoration for the second cockpit. For the gunner, I think it might be. I don't know. It may be like a helicopter, so that's the pilot, that's the gunner, I'm not too sure. So yeah, there you go, there are the engine flamethrowers with Y, just to add a little bit of decoration. Yeah, like I said, slightly more fragile, so this won't take much stress testing, I don't think. No, there you go, it's already failed. Bits of wood flag everywhere, look at this, there you go. So yeah, slightly more fragile, some braces, but not really that much to tell. So yeah, Republic Gunship. I think it was quite good. Slightly bigger than the regular mini models, but yeah. So there's this. Off it goes. Another model that I have, which I actually deleted here, but you can still subscribe to it, is, let me take off that, is actually, where is it? This one, the Geonosian Fighter. This is not one of my best models, as you can see, it's not very good at all. This is meant to be the gun, which I've used with a boulder in a boulder in a holder with a wooden pole here. It's slightly sort of sloped to the front on either side. This is meant to be the cockpit. It's just not very good, but it was like one of the first models that I made. This was like the first one that I made, and I realised that it wasn't very good, so I sort of uploaded it and then just removed it from my actual Besiege creations. I've literally only subscribed to it to show it. Yeah, as you can see, it's. Oh, I've reset the camera accidentally there. Yeah, as you can see, it's not very good at all. So yeah, just let me destroy this. So yeah, there's the Geonosian Fighter. So there you go. Here's another one, Tentative IV. I always used to call it the Tentative, but it's actually Tentative. I don't. It's not one of my better models, but it's alright as a model. Here is, I think, where the bridge is. Here is sort of the battery of engines that are at the back. This is meant to be the escape pod at the front. These are meant to be the lasers on the side. Adding embraces for the sort of sloping of either one. The big battery of engines there. That's meant to be a little bit more detail. So yeah, H does extend pistons, but the pistons are there for decoration, really. So yeah, the battery of engines can be fired because they are, after all, only flamethrowers for detail. So let me actually make it stop moving, damn it. There you go. So, yeah, there you go, the flamethrower, the battery of engines. So yeah, as you can see, it's not really that complicated of a model to have built, because it's literally just like a line of wood blocks with the engine battery sort of overlapping, sort of. Then these are pistons, so yeah, these things are actually held on with the braces. If I was to remove the braces, this would fly off on its own. So yeah, it's not that good of a model, as you can see. Just stress testing it, it wheels around everywhere. You can see that it sort of just splits apart. It has got a fair amount of braces, but as you can see, that also makes it explode lovely when shaken around for stress testing. There you go, there's that. Can we separate the engine battery? Yes, we can. There you go. So there is the main engines. Just by so yeah, there's by main engines. So yeah, there's that. The Tentative IV. Here you go, TIE Bomber. So here's the TIE Bomber. Or in fact, I'll actually do the TIE Fighter. I'll start off with the TIE Fighter. Yeah. So here is the TIE Fighter, which is the first one that I actually made. It's literally built around the starting block. I covered the starting block in well, actually, what I did, I can actually show you how I built this. If I destroy it, there you go. So basically, small wooden blocks, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then get rid of them, and then braces all along the center there, and then from that side to the starting block, and then from there to the starting block again. Because if those weren't actually there, if I was to move the starting block will move on its own. The brace does not actually hold it in there. The brace goes through the blocks because the braces aren't actual physical items. They will go through stuff. They will go through this terrain and stuff. So, yeah, you sort of have to have the braces from that block to the starting block. So, yeah, that's that. And then for the cockpit, I just covered it in these metal plates to add the sort of grey of the TIE Fighter. And then for the actual wings, I call them wings, but I'm not sure if they actually are. I always thought of them as being solar panels, because that's sort of what they look like. But yeah, anyway, for the wings, I'm going to keep calling them wings. For the wings, they're just pistons here, and then for the hexagonal sort of shape, although with this it's more of a diamond, just drag braces from each corner to corner. And then there is your TIE Fighter. There you go. Although there is actually one more part to the TIE Fighter after this, which is gripper pads for the insignia on the side like that, how they have it. So, there you go, TIE Fighter. So, as for controls for this one, not really. H moves the pistons, but the pistons are all held in, compacted with braces, and yeah, it looks cool when it's flying around. I do like the TIE Fighter model. TIE Fighter is a nice model. So, and as you can see, it's not going to really break other than the pistons failing because of the immense pressure, or the wood. Because there is not much wood, actually, in this model. The only wooden parts are the two parts for the centre of the wings. I did try and get all of them pistons, but because these used to be wood, they didn't used to be pistons, they used to be wood, so I would get rid of the wood and replace them with pistons, and leaving this one, and then I would remove that, try and add the piston, but you can't actually just put piston on a piston for some reason when there isn't a physical block there. So I then had to remove like all the pistons and start again. So after failing with that a couple of times, I just left this one wood block because you can't really see it. One side is covered up by the gripper pad, the other side is sort of covered by the cockpit. So yeah, can't really see the wood block, but yeah, it looks a lot like the TIE Fighter. I do like it. I do like this model. Under stress test, as you can see, the pistons do sort of break themselves apart because they're sort of held under pressure by the braces. There you go. Off comes a wing. It's just been shot down by an X-wing. Just so yeah, there you go. Off it drifts. Damaged TIE Fighter. So yeah, there's the TIE Fighter, and then I'll move on to the TIE Interceptor, then the TIE Bomber. So here's the TIE Interceptor. It is with the TIE Interceptor, what I thought is, you know what, I'll just take the TIE Fighter, instead of making it completely from scratch, because it is basically a TIE Fighter with elongated wings. What I did is I took the TIE Fighter, removed the single block here, added 2 blocks on either side of the wings there, and then added braces on those wings to sort of make the right angle triangle shape, and then added metal spikes onto the end of them for the guns, and that was it. That's all the modifications I did, and then voila, I have got a TIE Interceptor. So yeah, it is built with exactly the same designs up until these extra pistons. Pistons themselves don't move again because they're all braced up. Yeah, I do like the TIE Interceptor as well. It's a nice one. So you can kill the rebel scum in your TIE Interceptor. You can attack their bases, kill them all. Oh, bye. Yeah, that's one way of stress testing it, seeing if it survives through that. There's a wing, there's a wing, there's another wing, and then I don't know where the cockpit is. It's off somewhere. It's travelling through the stars with the pilot in tow. Where did it actually go? I'm not too sure. But yeah, so here is the TIE Interceptor. I do like this. So yeah, TIE Interceptor. And then moving on to the TIE Bomber. Here you go, slightly longer. This one really did have give me a little bit of problem. I actually have to replace a piston here. For some reason that wasn't there. Okay. And save, right. So with this one, this actually caused a little bit of problems with how to do this, because it's basically, it has the little gap in between each sort of body piece, and so I did originally have wing 1 block gap, the cockpit 1 block gap with the brace spanning across everything, and then the second bit of body another gap and then a wing, but then I thought it just looks too wide. It just looks strange. So after fiddling about with a couple of ideas, I eventually just decided to have two blocks parallel and then just have them braced together, running along here, and it's actually worked out fairly well. Once again, the wings are basically of the same thing, just pistons, with the gripper pad being the insignia. Starting block is the cockpit, and then wooden block for being the second body, and then an extra little elongated bit there. The wings as well are slightly elongated. They're also shorter because they're more sort of wide, not high like the TIE Fighter. So yeah, slightly wider wings. And yeah, there you go, TIE Bomber. Very simple. Still building stuff. I built this one today, actually, not so long ago. Same with the Republic Assault Ship. Oh, not the Republic Assault Ship, the Republic Cruiser. So yeah, the pistons. One of the pistons moves apparently. I think it broke under stress testing, so it now moves. The brace failed. Yeah, there you go. Oh, off comes a wing. Anything else going to come off? Yeah, there you go. Smashing it into the ground and running it along apparently effectively breaks up a TIE bomber. It's just gone out of my range. So yeah, there is the TIE bomber. And we will continue in the next one with the V-Wing. That will be the third part. When I get more models, I will make a new video on them. And in case you haven't noticed, I am actually breaking these models down, these videos down into 8 models in each piece, just so that in case Besiege crashes or something, I don't lose everything. I instead just lose those 8 models. So yeah, before it crashes, which it has been doing slightly after a while of building or recording, I will thank you for watching, and next time we will go right into the viewing. So I will thank you for watching, and goodbye.